Introduction. Love is beautiful when it feels certain. When the woman you care about looks at you with warmth. When her voice carries affection. When her actions make you feel like you matter. But life doesn't always stay in that sweet place. Sometimes, without warning, the woman you love suddenly flips. One day she says she loves you. The next, she grows cold. One day she is close. The next, she feels far away, even when she's sitting right next to you. And then, before you've had time to understand what really happened, she decides to leave. For most men, this moment feels like the ground collapsing under their feet. It doesn't make sense. You replay every memory, every conversation, searching for the moment where it all went wrong. You start asking yourself questions that have no easy answers. Did I change? Did she meet someone else? Did her love fade? Or was it never real to begin with? That confusion eats away at your peace. But here's the truth. Women rarely leave without showing signs first. Most men just don't want to see them. They convince themselves it's just stress, or that she'll come around. They ignore the small changes, the distance in her eyes, the way she stops respecting your words, the way she seems annoyed by your presence. And then, when she finally walks away, it feels like a shock. In reality, it was building up all along. This is why you must open your eyes. Not to become paranoid, not to chase after every mood swing, but to be awake enough to notice when love is fading and strong enough to act wisely instead of desperately. Because when a woman flips and decides to leave, your reaction decides your future. Most men beg, cry, and lose all self-respect. But a strong man pauses, accepts reality, and handles it with calm power. He understands that love is not about chaining someone who wants to be free. It's about respecting yourself enough to let go when it's no longer real. So the question is not just, why did she flip? The question is, what will you do when she does? Because that choice will show whether you break down or rise stronger. Notice when her effort disappears. When a woman truly loves you, her effort is obvious. She texts you first sometimes. She wants to spend time with you. She listens. She cares about how you feel, and she shows that being with you matters to her. But when a woman is about to flip and walk away, the first big sign is that her effort disappears. She stops initiating conversations. She doesn't check on you the way she used to. She used to ask how your day was. Now she doesn't even notice if you're quiet. She used to want to plan things with you. Now she's too busy, or she gives excuses. Her effort fades because her heart is no longer fully in it. And when the effort dies, love is not far behind. Most men ignore this sign because they believe she's just stressed or she'll come around. But here's the truth. Love doesn't vanish because of stress. A woman who truly cares will still make small efforts, even in busy times. She will still send a quick message, still smile when she sees you, still make space for you in her life. If all of that stops, it's not stress. It's a warning. This is why you must pay attention. When her effort disappears, don't chase harder thinking you can fix it by doing more. That only makes you look desperate. Instead, you need to step back and see the situation for what it is. A relationship is not one-sided. It cannot survive if only you are investing while she's already halfway out the door. Respect yourself enough to recognize when the balance is gone. If she truly loves you, she will realize the distance and correct it. But if she has already decided to leave, your chasing will not stop her. In fact, it will make her lose more respect for you. That's why the smartest move is not to panic, but to observe. Notice the shift. Acknowledge it in your heart. And remind yourself that your value is not defined by whether she stays or goes. When her effort disappears, it is not the end of your worth. It is only the beginning of your lesson. And the men who learn this lesson are the ones who never beg, never lose dignity, and never let heartbreak destroy them. 2. Her respect starts to fade. Love cannot survive without respect. A woman may still say the words, "I love you." But if she no longer respects you, those words mean nothing. One of the clearest signs that the woman you love is about to flip and leave is when her respect for you starts to fade. You'll notice it in small ways at first. She interrupts you when you speak, dismisses your opinions, or mocks your dreams. She may start treating other people's words with more seriousness than yours. What used to be admiration turns into irritation. What used to be support turns into criticism. And slowly, the way she sees you shifts from a man she values to a man she no longer looks up to. Most men ignore this sign because they confuse affection with respect. They think, she still hugs me, she still calls me baby, so we're fine. But affection can be fake. Respect cannot. A woman may hug you while secretly doubting you. She may kiss you while quietly resenting you. But when she respects you, her actions carry weight. She listens. She values your presence. She trusts your judgment. When that disappears, love is already slipping away. The mistake many men make is trying to buy back respect with gifts, attention, or by lowering their standards just to please her. But the truth is, respect cannot be begged for. It is earned by how you carry yourself, by the boundaries you set, and by the strength you show even when things get hard. If she stops respecting you, and you respond by becoming weaker, she will only drift away faster. This is why, when you notice her respect fading, you must act differently from the average man. Don't argue endlessly trying to prove your worth. Don't cry or beg for her to see your value. Instead, stand tall and remind yourself that her respect is not the source of your identity. You are. If she chooses to disrespect you, the worst thing you can do is stay and accept it. Because the moment you allow disrespect, you've already lost the relationship. A woman may love many things about a man, but she only stays loyal to the one she respects. And when her respect is gone, her love is not far from following it. 3. She starts creating distance. When a woman is connected to you, she naturally wants to be close, physically, emotionally, mentally. She enjoys your presence, she shares her thoughts, she reaches for your hand, and she looks for reasons to be around you. But when she's about to flip and leave, one of the clearest signs is distance. She starts pulling away in ways that may seem small at first, but they grow bigger with time. Suddenly, she needs space. She becomes busy with new hobbies, new friends, or new routines that don't include you. She doesn't call like she used to. She doesn't share her feelings like before. And when you're together, it feels like her mind is somewhere else. That closeness you once felt begins to vanish. Most men panic at this stage. They feel her slipping away and respond by chasing harder, texting more, calling non-stop, and demanding explanations. But that desperate energy only pushes her further. Why? Because when a woman has already decided to create distance, your chasing confirms to her that she holds all the power. And the more she feels that power imbalance, the more she loses attraction and respect. Instead of chasing, you must recognize what this distance means. Sometimes, yes, people get busy, but there's a difference between healthy busyness and emotional withdrawal. A woman who truly cares will still make small efforts even in her busiest days. She will still send a message, still show affection, still find a moment to stay connected. But a woman who is pulling away because she's losing interest won't. She will replace closeness with excuses and connection with silence. The right move here is not to beg her to stay close. It's to hold your ground. Respect her space, but don't make yourself available at her convenience like a backup option. If she is distancing herself to test your reaction, your calmness will remind her that you are not a man who loses himself when someone pulls away. And if she is distancing herself because she's already decided to leave, your calmness will protect your dignity. Remember this, distance is not always the problem. Sometimes it's the answer. It shows you the truth. And when you see the truth clearly, you can choose whether to keep giving energy to someone who is walking away, or save it for someone who actually wants to stay. 4. Her words and actions no longer match. When a woman is truly invested in you, her words and actions line up perfectly. If she says she cares, she shows it. If she promises to spend time with you, she makes it happen. If she says she loves you, you can feel it through her energy, her effort, and her consistency. But when she's about to flip and leave, you'll notice something unsettling. Her words and her actions no longer match. She might still say, "I love you," but her behavior will tell you otherwise. She might promise she'll be there, but somehow she never shows up. She might talk about a future with you, but her actions make it clear she doesn't see one. That gap between her words and her actions is a sign of fading commitment. Most men cling to the words because it's easier to believe them. They ignore the actions because the truth is painful. They think, "She said she loves me, so maybe she's just tired. Maybe she's just stressed." But the reality is simple. Actions reveal the truth. Words just decorate it. If her actions don't align with her promises, it means her heart has already started moving in a different direction. The mistake many men make is calling her out in anger or trying to force her actions to match her words. They argue, they complain, they beg. But you must understand this. When someone truly wants to stay, they don't need to be forced. They will naturally align their behavior with their feelings. If she doesn't, it's because she doesn't want to anymore. So when you notice this mismatch, the wise move is not to get louder, but to get calmer. Stop listening to the words alone. Watch what she does. If her actions show disinterest, accept it for what it is. If she keeps making excuses, stop giving her chances to keep breaking promises. Stand on this truth. Real love shows itself without needing reminders. Her words may still sound sweet, but if her actions are cold, it means she has already flipped inside. And when you see that clearly, you protect yourself from false hope. Because at the end of the day, it's better to face a painful truth than to live in a comfortable lie. 5. She becomes easily irritated with you. In the beginning, when a woman truly loves you, she's patient with your flaws. Your little mistakes don't bother her much. Your habits seem cute, and even your imperfections are accepted with love. But when she's about to flip and leave, everything you do suddenly irritates her. The same jokes that once made her laugh now annoy her. The small things she used to overlook now spark arguments. Your presence, instead of bringing her peace, begins to feel like a burden to her. This shift is not random. It's a sign that her emotional connection to you is breaking. When love fades, patience fades with it. Most men ignore this shift because they think, maybe she's just having a bad day. But when bad days turn into bad weeks and irritation becomes her default response to you, that's no longer just mood swings. It's a sign of detachment. She may not even realize it herself, but when her heart is pulling away, everything about you starts to feel heavier to her. She doesn't see you with the same warmth anymore, and that lack of warmth shows up as constant frustration. This is where many men make the mistake of overcompensating. They try too hard to please her, avoid speaking up, or bend over backwards just to stop the irritation. But here's the truth. When a woman has lost genuine interest, no amount of pleasing will change how she feels. In fact, the more you try, the more it confirms to her that you are desperate, and desperation only increases her irritation. The wise move when you notice this sign is not to argue endlessly or to beg her for an explanation. Instead, step back and observe. Ask yourself, is this the behavior of someone who still loves me, or someone who's already checked out emotionally? A woman who truly values you will not treat you as if your presence is a problem. She will communicate openly, not lash out constantly. So when her irritation becomes the new normal, see it for what it is, a warning that her love is no longer the same. Don't waste energy trying to fix what she has already decided to abandon. Protect your self-respect, because the moment you allow her constant irritation to define you, you've already given her power over your peace. 6. She stops including you in her future. When a woman is truly in love, she naturally speaks about the future with you in it. She makes plans, big or small, that tie you together. It could be something simple like, we should try that restaurant next month, or something bigger like, one day when we get our own place. Her words reveal that in her mind, you're not temporary. You're permanent. But when she's about to flip and leave, that changes. Suddenly, all her conversations about the future become vague, or they exclude you completely. She no longer talks about we, she only talks about me. It's subtle at first, but once you notice it, it's impossible to ignore. Most men miss this sign because they're too caught up in the present moment. They think, at least she's still here now. But relationships are not just about the present. They're about where you're heading together. If she stops including you in her future, it means she's already picturing a life without you in it. And when that vision gets stronger, her decision to leave is only a matter of time. The mistake men often make is trying to force their way back into her future talk. They push conversations like, when we get married, or when we travel together next year, hoping she'll get excited again. But forcing her to include you in plans will not rebuild what's already fading. If she doesn't see you in her future naturally, it means her heart has already shifted. The right move here is acceptance. Pay attention to her words and her energy. If she avoids making plans, if she shuts down when you talk about the future, that's a sign she's mentally preparing to leave. Instead of chasing, you must start preparing yourself too, not for desperation, but for strength. Don't waste your energy begging for a spot in her future. Instead, build your own. Focus on your growth, your vision, your goals. Because the man who has a strong future of his own never fears being excluded from someone else's. Here's the hard truth. A woman who stops including you in her future has already started leaving in her mind. And once she leaves mentally, the physical departure is only a matter of time. 7. She no longer values your presence. One of the deepest signs that the woman you love has flipped and is ready to leave is when your presence no longer excites her. In the beginning, she looked forward to seeing you. Even a short moment together meant something. She smiled when you walked into the room. Her energy lifted when you called, and she genuinely enjoyed just being around you. But when she starts to detach, all of that fades. Being with you no longer feels special to her. It feels ordinary, even draining. She doesn't light up when she sees you anymore. Instead, she looks distracted, bored, or distant. What used to bring her joy now barely moves her heart. Most men feel this shift but refuse to face it. They make excuses. She's tired, she's stressed, or she's just in a mood. But when it happens again and again, it's not just mood. It's a sign that her emotional connection to you is gone. A woman who values you will always appreciate your presence, even in small ways. She'll still hug you tight, still ask about your day, still make you feel seen. But when she no longer cares whether you're there or not, she's already halfway out the door. This is where many men make the mistake of trying to force appreciation. They buy gifts, overplan dates, or beg for her attention. But forced value is never real value. If she doesn't genuinely want to be with you, no amount of effort will make her see you the way she once did. In fact, overdoing it will only make her feel pressured, which pushes her away faster. The wiser path is self-respect. If she no longer values your presence, don't waste your time proving yourself to her. Instead, remind yourself that your presence is valuable by default. You bring energy, care, and love, but only to those who actually appreciate it. The right person will never make you feel like a burden. The wrong person will. When her joy in your presence disappears, you have your answer. It means her heart is no longer with you, no matter what her words say. And when you see that clearly, the best move is not to fight for a place in her world. It's to build your own world where you are valued. Conclusion. When the woman you love suddenly flips and decides to leave, it feels like the hardest blow you could ever take. The pain isn't just about losing her, it's about losing the picture you painted in your mind, the future you imagined together, and the comfort of thinking she would always stay. But here's the truth you must hold on to. Her decision to leave does not end your life, and it does not define your worth. What defines you is how you respond. Most men crumble in this moment. They beg, they plead, they lower themselves just to keep someone who has already chosen to walk away. They think love is proven by holding on at all costs. But the reality is the opposite. Love is proven by dignity. Real strength is shown when you can let go with grace, when you can face the pain without losing yourself, and when you can accept that someone's absence cannot destroy your presence. The signs are always there. Her effort fades, her respect weakens, her distance grows, her actions no longer match her words. Irritation becomes constant, the future excludes you, and your presence loses its value. These aren't just signs of a breakup. They're warnings for you to stop investing in someone who no longer invests in you. They're lessons designed to open your eyes and make you stronger, wiser, and harder to break next time. So, what should you do if she leaves? You do the one thing most men are too afraid to do. You stand tall. You don't chase. You don't beg. You don't lose your dignity for temporary comfort. Instead, you accept what is gone. You reclaim your energy, and you redirect it into your growth, your purpose, and your future. Because when you shift your focus from her to yourself, something powerful happens. You stop being dependent on her love, and you start becoming independent with your own strength. Remember this: women come and go, but your value remains. A woman leaving does not mean you are unworthy. It simply means she was not meant to walk with you forever. Life always replaces loss with growth if you allow it. So let her go with calmness, keep your head high, and trust that every ending is simply the beginning of a stronger version of you.